It's Cowboys at Washington this week, so let's preview Week 7. And in a little bit, Warren Sapp's going to come by and help us preview it as well. The Cowboys are, how do I put this delicately, in shambles because they beat the Falcons 40-39, and since then have lost close ones against Seattle, have lost close ones against the Cleveland Browns, kind of close, I guess, lost Dak Prescott in a lucky win against the Giants, and then laid an egg because primetime Dalton showed up on Monday Night Football and got blown out by the Arizona Cardinals, which the Cardinals actually beat Washington by less. Let that sink in here, folks. Washington has not fared very well. They won Week 1 against Philadelphia. They've been allowing a pretty steady 30 points per game, minus a bad Giants team. This is not a good football game. I have to be honest here, folks. This is not a game that you really want to focus on and watch and enjoy, but we're going to watch because we're Cowboys fans. At least most of us here are. The Cowboys are the betting favorite in this matchup, a 1-point favorite. The over-under lower than what it's been as of late, set at 46, but it's not an intriguing game. The concern for me here is the Cowboys this season, folks, are 0-6 against the spread. Them and the Giants, the first teams to do that since 2013, beginning the game 0-6 against the spread. This one's pretty easy. Either they win or I guess they can still tie, but it's going to be a lot easier to cover the spread in this one. All they have to do is just win the game. So what I want you guys to do in the comments section is to predict the score for me of this particular game. I will do mine at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But predict the score, Dallas against Washington. Joining us now on the Dallas Cowboys Report by Chat Sports is NFL Hall of Fame lineman Warren Sapp, here to help preview Cowboys Washington, talk little Cowboys as well, made possible by BetUS. Warren, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's dive in here with some general discussion around the Cowboys to get things started, namely on the defensive side of the ball. I'd love to get your thoughts as to why the team is, well, so bad.
That's a combination of things. When you lose your starting quarterback and then Ezekiel Elliott in the running game ain't there, and now you have what used to be the Red Rifle, who's now the Red Ryder BB gun, you're going to have a lot of issues on the NFL football field. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. And then we look up today and the players said that the coaches aren't ready. So there's something going on in Dallas. There's a lot of smoke, so we need to get to the fire.
Yeah, and I mean, you've, of course, had an immensely successful NFL career. That's not a good sign when you've got anonymous sources talking to media about the coaches, right?
No, especially when you're talking about the coaches aren't prepared. Then what are the coaches doing? Because all the coaches I've ever had in my 13-year career, they never left the job. They always had us prepared. They turned over every rock, every stone. So there's definitely something going on. But that's what you have when you have Jerry Jones and an open line to the owner. Yeah. When you have an open line to the owner, you get to say what you want sometimes. I work for Al Davis.
Are there any big problems, specifically whether it be players or coaching staff stuff, that you've seen watching Cowboys games this year that give you extra pause beyond the normal, well, this team just isn't all that great?
Whenever I watch the Cowboys on tape, I watch a team that's very undisciplined. And I'm not talking about just the X's and O's and the penalties. I'm talking about just playing your technique within the defense. It's just unsound at times. And when your defense is unsound, you're going to have a lot of problems on the NFL Sunday because that's the one thing that all 11 must do is be on the same page. I don't give a damn if we're playing cover 9, just long as all 11 of us is playing it. That's the key.
There's been a lot made, at least here in Dallas, around the coaching staff changes, specifically the defensive side of the ball. Last year, the claim from the players and everyone was that, the defense is too simple. Now it's been too complicated is the concern there. They're going from a Chris Rashad, Rod Marinelli kind of hybrid coaching staff scheme to the Mike Nolan one. You, of course, know Rod super well from your time together in Tampa Bay. Can you elaborate on some of the differences, be it scheme or technique-wise, that you've noticed from what the Cowboys are asking players to do last year compared to this year?
Okay. Cowboy Nation, calm down. This is not about the schematics or the scheme. Not 4-4, not 4-3, not cover 2, not Tampa 2. This is about not the X's and O's. This is about the Willies and Joes. The young men that are out there on the football field are not executing. They're not on the same page. They're not doing it. An NFL defense is like a jigsaw puzzle. Only certain pieces fit in certain places. So you got to know where those pieces go and how the hell they fit into this jigsaw puzzle. And it's for a 60-minute game against paid people on the other side that are attacking you every play. Have a short memory, get your ass back in your position, and start from the top.
We're going to get back to Warren in just a second for more on this game, but I do want to run through the latest injuries before we do that. Updates on Brandon Knight, Zack Martin, and Aldon Smith. We'll begin with the big one there. That's Zack Martin. Suffered a concussion in Week 6 against the Arizona Cardinals. He's still in protocol, and I don't know if he's going to be able to go. It is always tricky to tell with concussions. He's down a day because it was Monday Night Football. The Cowboys and Martin and all of us will not know what's going to happen on that front until maybe Friday or even Saturday outright. It's going to be up against the wire there. I would have to operate like under the assumption that Connor McGovern will get his first NFL start if Martin is unable to go, which, if I had to guess one way or the other, I think he's out this week. One player coming back, though, is Cam Erving, who was supposed to be activated back on for Monday Night Football to be the swing tackle. Then, unfortunately for Erving, he wasn't feeling well, and the Cowboys were like, well, we can't do it just in case it's COVID, but he's back at practice. With Brandon Knight out, he's going to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks after undergoing minor knee surgery. It would appear that Cameron Erving, who is still technically on IR and really won't be activated until Saturday or Sunday because there's no reason to do it early just in case there's a setback, would appear that Cam Erving, who was signed originally to be this team's swing tackle, then lost out to Terrence Steele and then got hurt and became tackle number 5, he is set to start. So another different combination of starters set to play for this Cowboys offensive line. So what's your panic level right now? I think if we're being honest here, it should probably be a 10. Because if I had told you at the beginning of the year that your starting center was going to be hurt, your right tackle was never going to play a game for you this year, your right guard is now hurt, your left tackle played 2 games, your top backup tackle is also out right now, I think we'd all be melting down. If we're being honest, they've played about as well as we could have expected. But I think it's pretty clear it's a 10 on this one. I also want to mention Aldon Smith here as well. Speaking of defense linemen, because we'll get back to Sapp here in a second. He missed Wednesday's practice with a neck issue, was limited Thursday. Mike McCarthy said he jammed his neck against the Cardinals, which doesn't sound good. He did get checked out. He also returned to the game. So I'm knocking on wood here, because I saw Tyron Smith go from, I'm playing, to, I'm out for the year now in a span of like a week. The expectation is that Aldon Smith is going to be good to play this week. Now, if he can't go for whatever reason, I think you unleash one Randy Gregory, who we will get to here in just a second as well. But I think Aldon's going to be okay. I'm just curious to see if he's limited at all for this upcoming game. We are joined here on the Cowboys Report by NFL Hall of Fame defensive lineman Warren Sapp. Let's move on now to this upcoming game, Cowboys against Washington. Dallas opened as a 3-point favorite. That line has actually dropped to -1 as of filming. So what are you expecting out of this particular matchup?
An ugly football game. Let's just be honest. I mean, we're talking about the NFC weak right now. Yeah. Not the least. It's the weak right now. Not the East. It's the weak. And for some reason, these football teams aren't doing the very basics. Mm-hmm. So when I look at this football game, I'm definitely not taking the Washington football team, because when you look at the Washington football team, they can't even figure out who the quarterback is. Mm-hmm. So the red rifle the red BB gun or the red rifle, whichever one you like, doesn't have to worry about having that superior quarterback on the other side this week. He can just go out and play his game. But what the Cowboys need to do is get back to running the football. Ezekiel Elliott is the one, the $90 million guy. Give him the ball, and then you can go play action pass and go outside to Amari Cooper and the other receivers. You have to start by running the football. Come on. All
right, so you have the Cowboys in this game then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys over the Redskins. The Redskins are nasty, just nasty.
All right, well, if you guys want to bet on this particular matchup, do it with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code you see on your screen right now. That is Cowboys125. It'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. You put down $100. There's an extra 125 involved there, just in case you follow Warren's advice and the Cowboys end up struggling against the spread once again because they're 0-6 this year, because this is just not a good team against spread. Yeah, 0-6 this year, Warren. Wild, right?
Don't worry about that. The changes are coming.
All right, so you got the Cowboys in this one. Do you have a score prediction, by the way?
No. I don't like to get to the score, especially when you're working with quarterbacks that aren't ready to score, because if there's one thing we know in the National Football League, you're able to score some points.
That's fair. All right, let's look ahead then to the NFC week, as you called it overall. I've been calling it the NFC least. The Cowboys are still the betting favorite here. Do you think they win the division? Is it Philadelphia, or do maybe Washington or the Giants somehow get going here?
Some ugly football being played in the East. I mean, it just is. But I always tell people, calm down until we get around Thanksgiving. And when you get around Thanksgiving, we can't do the family around the table like we used to, but maybe we'll get a Zoom call and everybody eating the turkey and we're talking. But that's when it will weed itself out for us all. I will take the Cowboys.
All right, there you go. You heard it there from Warren. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really do appreciate it. Let's talk Randy Gregory now, who, as a reminder, has been removed from the NFL's commissioner's exempt list and is now eligible to play for the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington football team. And I want to make something very, very clear, which I've been arguing for weeks now anyway. Every single snap that the Dallas Cowboys give to Dorrance Armstrong with Randy Gregory and Bradley Anae available is a failure of coaching staff. Because I've watched Aldon Smith play for years, or Dorrance Armstrong play for years now. He's bad. He's not good at football. He is a jag out there. He's just a guy. Give those reps to Randy Gregory. You're using this DPR Sam role here. Put him out there. It's not that difficult. Throw in Randy Gregory behind Aldon Smith, bench Dorrance Armstrong, make Gregory that second pass rusher as the stand-up guy. I think that makes the most sense for this Dallas Cowboys team. Otherwise, I don't really know what the whole purpose of it is. If they don't do that, I have lost all faith in this defensive coaching staff. We can all see Dorrance Armstrong playing out there and not making plays. That's the problem right now with this organization. If they don't play the better football players, we're doomed. Now, if you want to kind of limit Randy Gregory a little bit, because since it's his first game back in really over a year here, I think that is okay. But don't give Dorrance Armstrong 20 snaps a game like you've been doing. Give it to Gregory instead. Now, I'm going to make my prediction here for the game in just a second, but will the Cowboys win the NFC East with Andy Dalton? Type Y for yes or type in N for no. We asked this poll a couple different times before. First time pre-Monday Night Football, 81% was yes. After Monday Night Football, it had plummeted all the way down to 40%. Dalton simply has not been very good this year. 65% is fine in terms of completion percentage. 377 yards in, we'll say, a game and a quarter. 1 TD, 2 interceptions, and a woeful QBR. I guess on the bright side, as we discussed with Warren Sapp, the quarterbacks in this game are equally bad, and that is why the Cowboys are a 1-point favorite on the road against Washington. I do not have confidence in this Cowboys team. Despite that, I'm going to take the Cowboys in this one. I've got them winning 23-20. Defense looks a little bit better against the bad Washington offense, but I would be lying to you if I felt confident about this particular game. So get your score predictions for me in the comment section as well.